What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Comfort Zone, your place for some casual, comfortable Commander. I'm your host, Dan. That's your host, John. John, what are we doing today?
Today, we're going to be going even further into the Wilds of Eldraine, both running commanders from the set that have recently been released. I'm going to be running Beluna Grand Squall, who's the adventure teamer commander, and basically trying to run as many adventures as I can while still pulling out a win somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And I am going to be playing Kellan, the Fey-blooded. So this is a really interesting one for me because I don't stereotypically play Boros or equipment-based decks, but Kellan really attracted me conceptually because of the wide board implications of his second ability there, which gives my board +1/+0 based on him having equipments. So we're going for a lot of utility equipments as opposed to that Voltron-style build. Hopefully we can suit him up, get a big army, and overwhelm the adventuring Wanderlust characters on the other side of the board. If you guys haven't seen already in our previous videos, we are still running our giveaway, baby! Woo! For the sealed set booster box of Wilds of Eldraine. Obviously fitting for this video here. Basically, we're running this giveaway to say thank you. We know that the channel is in its infancy, but we're growing every day, and you guys are early fans of the people that make that happen. And this giveaway is kind of to commemorate that, so you can always know that you were here at the beginnings, and you were part of the Comfort Zone right at the start. To enter, you just have to be one of the first 100 subscribers and leave a comment down below or in any of the videos during the duration of the contest. Stay tuned to the end of the video and look down in the description for the full rules so that you can learn a little bit more of the details, the nitty-gritty, but we'll cover that later. Without further ado, get comfortable, because it's time to play some Commander. Okay, let's do this. Behold!
What is that?
Behold a 13.
That's more than one. Looks like you're going on the first.
I'm going on the first.
I'll be going on the second.
Let's do this thing. We are coming out with an inspired Vantage.
Oh.
Untapped, because it is quite inspired. And then we are coming out with a Legion's Landing. Legendary enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, I create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. Whenever I attack with 3 or more creatures, I transform Legion's Landing. The backside is like a land that has an activated ability to make more tokens.
Nice.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Pass it. Pass it.
Right. I'm gonna be drawing, and we're gonna be playing a game trail untapped because I can reveal this forest.
Yo. How about that?
And we're going to be tapping the game trail to come in with a very bird-like creature from Paradise.
Nice. It's very
and then we're going to pass our turn while you're amidst drawing a creepy little vampire.
I guess I didn't intend on it, but we're drawing him in bat form because, you know.
Nothing wrong with bat form, bro.
Ran out of time, and it got very confusing, and vampires are hard to draw.
I like him.
All right, thanks. Okay, we're untapping, we're upkeeping, we're drawing. Oh, I guess I didn't want to untap that one. Okay, then we are coming down with a Plains.
Nice.
We are going to tap 2 for the Pure Steel Paladin.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Who's a 2/2 when he enters the battlefield. When an equipment enters the battlefield under my control, I draw a card. And he has Metalcraft. If I control 3 or more artifacts, equipments I control have equip 0, which is pretty spicy. Then we are going to combat with the Vampirine.
All right, so I'm going to take one look at that vampire, and I'm going to declare no blockers. Are you kidding?
Sweet. And we are going to lifelink it up. Going to 41, and we're passing.
All right, I'm going to untap, and we're going to get right to the good stuff. We're going to take that forest you saw a minute ago, put it into play, and for a green, and for a red, and for a blue from my bird, we're coming in with a turn 2 Beluna Grand Squall.
Oh, sweet. What'd she do?
So Beluna has an adventure called Seek Thrills. So for 2, a green, a blue, and a red, I can mill 7 cards. Then I put all cards that have an adventure from among the milled cards into my hand. But we're skipping that for now. She's not going on an adventure. She's coming right to battle. So she is a 4/4 with trample that says permanent spells that I cast that have an adventure cost 1 less to cast.
Not bad.
So she's going to reduce the cost of all my adventure permanents. And then we're going to send it right back to you, buddy.
Sweet. All right. We're untapping. We're upkeeping. We're drizzling. Oh, Mother Mary. What's happening?
I have no idea.
Oh, decisions. Okay. Let's do a plains. We're going to play a plains to put out a Weathered Wayfarer. So in this particular instance, he might not do much for me, but he's a 1/1 who has an activated ability. Plains, tap him to search my library for a land card, reveal it, and put it into my hand. Then shuffle my library. I can only use this ability if an opponent controls more lands than me. But otherwise, it's a really good white card. I'm sure everybody's familiar with it. Then we are going to tap 2. And we are going to cast our commander for his adventure side. We're casting Kellan, the Fey-Blooded. More specifically, his adventure, which is the Birthright Boon. For 1 and a white at sorcery speed, I can search my library for an aura or equipment card and put it into my hand, then shuffle. It'll then be exiled on an adventure. His creature side, which I can play out of the adventure for his usual printed mana cost, is a 2/2 with double strike that gives my other creatures +1/+0 for each aura and equipment attached to Kellan. So we're going to put him over here, back kind of where he was, but he's on an adventure now. I'll indicate that with the card in a second. And we're going to go search for something spicy. All right, we are going to find the Lorien Brooch, which is the Trailblazer's Boots. This gives the equipped creature non-basic land walk. It is 2 mana, and the equip cost is 2. So we're going to pop that into our hand. Then we're going to look at that big, meaty Queen of the Giants, and my stuff ain't that size, so we're going to pass.
All righty. We're going to untap. And we are going to draw. And what is that? Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome. I like that card. Okay, so we're going to play, we're going to tap 2 here. And we are going to play the Izzet Signet. Then I am going to play the Steam Vents, and I'm going to pay the 2 life, so it comes in untapped. And then I think I'm going to tap the Birds to float a green mana to play, as I said in our set review video, one of my favorite parts of the set, the big old raccoon boy, the Bramble Familiar.
Oh, nice.
So, the Bramble Familiar, his adventure says Fetch Quest, which is cute because he's like a dog raccoon looking thing. 5 and 2 green. Mill 7 cards. Then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. Otherwise, he's a 2/2 that taps to add green. And for 1 green and tap him, I can discard a card and return Bramble Familiar to its owner's hand. This card is so cool.
Yeah, I like that he can basically cycle through the adventure.
Well, it's
game,
super.
Which is neat.
I think it's super cool because, and I won't go on too much of a tangent, but because most of the adventures they have low spell cost and high permanent cost, so you can play the spell early and the creature late. But just like Beluna, he has a low mana cost and then a very high adventure. So the fact that he gives the ability to use him, then get him back into your hand once you don't need the early mana ramp, and then use the big spell, I think is super cool that they did that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, fortunately or unfortunately, you got a couple guys.
1/1,
and I like
2/2.
So you could kill Beluna if you wanted. I'm gonna take the bet that you're not going to. We're going to combat and swing it with a 4/4 trample.
We are taking it, going to 37 and 4 commandeer damage.
And then it's going to be your turn.
Doink. Alrighty. You're going to untap, upkeep, and draw. What's the power and toughness on that dude?
The raccoon? He's a 2/2.
Okay, word. Missing our land, which is unfortunate. We will tap 3, and we're going to bring out Kellan off of his adventure. Cha-cha.
Hope you had a good time. Hope it was relaxing.
I don't think so. He killed, or defeated 3 witches, almost died of frostbite, learned his father was a trickery nutty guy. Oh, spoilers. Go watch the story recap on our podcast if you want to hear the rest. But again, he's a 2/2 with double strike. My other creatures are going to get +1/+0 for each aura or equipment attached to him. And we are going to move into combat. And we are going to move out of combat. Because I don't want to lose some of these dudes. So that's it.
Makes sense to me. All right. End of your turn. I'm going to tap the steam vents and the Izzet Signet. And I am actually going to reality shift the Pure Steel Paladin.
Oh, snap.
Reality shift exiles target creature, and then you manifest the top card of your library.
All right. There it is. Manifested.
All right. Then we're going to go, and we're gonna do the untappage. And the drawage. And, oh boy. What? That's not what I want to be drawing. Alright, well, oh, there's no good way to do that. We're gonna tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll leave the birds untapped. And we're gonna come out with, not an adventure, very sadly, but we're gonna play Lozon, the Dragon's Legacy.
What the heck is that?
Right? This is a card that I didn't originally have on the list, and I saw it, and I was like, what? So he is a 5-mana 4/2 flying dragon shaman. Whenever I cast an adventure spell or a dragon spell, Lozon deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target that isn't a commander.
Oh, cool.
It's adventure spell, so it's not when I cast the permanence, but only when I cast the spell to send something on the adventure.
Yeah.
And then we're not going to combat now that you have some more dudes, so we're just gonna hang out and pass turn.
All right, sweet. We're gonna untap, upkeep, draw. Interesting. Okay, I am going to tap 1 to cast the Skull Clamp, which we're all familiar with, presumably, but it is a 1-mana equipment. Equip cost 1. It gives the equipped creature +1/-1. Whenever the equipped creature dies, I draw 2 cards. And we are on the prowl for some lands. So we are going to pay 1, and we are going to equip the clamp to the vamp. The vamp is going to die, and we are going to draw 2. Turn 2. All right. That is going to assist us in hitting a land drop for the turn.
Oh, nice.
This is very important. And then we're like a step behind, so we're going to try to get back on the horse here. We're going to come out with the Lorien Brooch that we searched for. So we'll just pay 2 to put the Lorien Brooch out. And then that's going to do it. We're going to pass.
All right, so we're going to untap. We're going to give the draw a chance. And we're going to get a land, so we're going to put an island into play. Beautiful.
Nice.
And now I think this is the move. I don't really know. We're going to tap, I need 2 green, and then I'm going to tap these 2. So I'm going to tap 4. And I'm going to put out the Howling Galefang. And again, not an adventure, but he matters. He's a 4/4 vigilance. He has haste as long as I own a card in exile that has an adventure.
Okay.
To go along with that, we're going to be tapping the steam vents and the bird, actually. And we're going to finally cast an adventure. We are going to cast Stoke Genius, which is on the creature Hearth Elemental. So I'm going to go over the whole card because I don't want to have to go over it twice. The spell is 1 and a red, and it says discard my hand and then draw 2 cards. Then the creature is 5 and a red for a 4/5. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards in my graveyard that are instant cards, sorcery cards, and or have an adventure on them.
Gotcha.
So, then I'm going to discard my hand, which is just Candlekeep Inspiration. I'm so sad to discard that. And I'm going to put him on an adventure, which we're going to put up here. And I'm going to draw 2 cards. Okay. Because I cast the adventure, I do get to shoot something for 2. I'm going
Manifest or the Wayfarers?
I'm going to go for the Manifest guy.
Sure. Which I don't know. How does Manifest work again? Does it stay in exile or does it go to the grave?
I have absolutely no.
I don't play with Manifest like ever. We'll pretend that it stays exiled. Let us know in the comments. It's not going to be relevant because I have no way to recur it. So, no big deal. But let us know if you know. Anyway, go ahead.
Hey. All right. And then, But now that I have something on adventure, this guy is haste. So now I think we're gonna go to combat, and I'm gonna swing with Beluna and Lozan because he has flying and the Howlfang. So it's a 4/4 vigilance, a 4/4 trample, and a 4/2 flyer.
Okay, that's a lot of damage, but we're taking it. So 12 total. We're gonna go to 25, and we're gonna get 4 more commander.
And that's gonna be it. It's your turn.
Alrighty. We're gonna untap. We're gonna upkeep. We're gonna draw. We are going to start by paying 2 to equip the Lorien Brooch over to Kellan. I'm just gonna give him a non-basic land walk, as well as giving my other creatures +1/+0. Only really relevant on the Wayfarer and not a huge buff.
Yeah, I have non-basic lands.
What'd you say?
I said I have non-basic lands.
Yeah, it's kind of the idea there. All right, and then we are also going to pay 1 red here, and we are going to cast Sticky Fingers, which is an enchant creature. The enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, I create a treasure token. Whenever the enchanted creature dies, I draw a card. So we're also going to put that on Kellan.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, pretty nice. And then we are going to go to combat and swing in with Kellan, who is just a 2/2 with double strike, non-basic land walk, so it can't be blocked, and he's going to strike twice, which is going to trigger my Sticky Fingers twice, thus making me 2 treasures, which we will draw in a moment, but there they are. Alrighty. And then we're going to move out of combat and analyze. Alright, that's it. We're passing the turn.
Alrighty, so we're going to go to untap these dudes. We're going to untap these lands. We're going to untap this artifact. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw a card. We are going to come in with the Stormcarved Coast, untapped, because I have 2 or more other lands. We are going to start by tapping this land here, and also this land here for 2. Then we're going to tap the Bramble Familiar, and we are going to have to discard a card, but we're going to return it into my hand. So we are discarding 3 visits. Turn the Bramble Filmer. The Bramble Filmer. The Bramble Familiar to my hand. Then we're going to tap the Game Trail, and we're going to tap the Steam Vent, and we're going to tap the whatever that is, the Izzet Signet, for 3. We're going to cast out of exile the Hearth Elemental, because he can only cast 6, but he costs less for things in my grave. So I have 3 instants or sorceries in my grave, so he costs 3. He costs only 2 because also Beluna's ability, so we're just gonna slide that over. Or pretend like that didn't happen. The classic untap. You never know.
Oh yeah.
And then we're going to retap that thing we just untapped, because that's the best way to keep you on your toes. We're tap 2, and we're going to play the adventure on Stormkeld Vanguard. Stormkeld Vanguard's adventure is Bear Down. It's 1 and a green, destroy target artifact or enchantment. I'm getting rid of the Skull Clan.
Word. That's pretty strong.
And then otherwise, he is a 6-mana 6/7 that cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
Wow. Okay.
And then it's time to go to combat. I guess I'll use the 2 from Lozan to shoot the Wayfarer.
Sure. I'll respond just by activating its ability, since I have 4 lands and you have 5.
And I have 5.
To go grab a land.
Okay.
So we'll see you in a sec. All right, we're gonna find Command Tower, of course. Super good. Put it in my hand. You may continue.
And then the combat step, we're coming in again with Beluna, and again with Lozan in the air, and again with the Howling Galefang. The Elemental doesn't have haste, which is, I don't know, I feel like a fireplace should. I don't know. Nobody else is going to agree with that sentence. So it's going to be 4 in the air, and 4 with trample.
So 12 again, which if my math precludes me, it means I'm at 13. And then
I think that is correct.
Another 4 commandeer damage, which brings me to 12 of that. That's pretty good.
And that is going to be it for me.
Alrighty. Whew, sweating. Oh, wait. Effects on your end step.
What?
We are sacking a treasure to cast Enlightened Tutor.
Oh, yeah.
Be right back. Okie dokie. All right, we are going to find Reconnaissance, which I'll tell you what it does in one moment. Wicked old weird card, and put it on top. Then we'll go to my turn. Untapping, upkeeping, drawing the Reconnaissance. All right.
I bet I know what you're going to do next.
What am I going to do next?
You going to play the Reconnaissance?
No, I'm going to play Command Tower.
No! Ah, game over.
Got him. All right, and then we will tap 3. Oops. And we're going to play Anduril, the Flame of the West.
Also not Reconnaissance!
Yes, I know, right? I got you again. This is from Lord of the Rings set. Really cool card. Legendary artifact equipment. The equipped creature gets +3/+1. And whenever the equipped creature attacks, I create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. If that creature was legendary, I create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. So, with Kellan, they'll enter tapped and attacking, which is pretty cool. And then we are going to pay 1 to put out the Reconnaissance. So Reconnaissance is a really interesting card. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar, but in case you aren't, this is a really fun one rules-wise. But it is a 1-mana enchantment that has the ability 0 mana: remove target attacking creature I control from combat and untap it. Now the interesting thing about this card is that this can be done post-combat damage in the end of combat step. So in a way, it's basically a way to give vigilance to your board after they attack, in a sense. The reason it's extra good in this deck, you'll see in one moment. So then, what we are going to do is tap 1 and sack our remaining treasure, which I didn't draw, slacking, to equip Anduril over here to Kellan.
Oh yeah.
And then we are going to move into combat, and we are going to attack with Kellan, the Fae.
Oh yeah.
So we got a couple triggers going on. First, we are going to pop in our 2 spirits, count them 2, and they are going to have flying and enter tapped and attacking. And that's it for our attack triggers. However, these spirits are going to get +1/+0 for each artifact and equipment on Kellan, which is 1, 2, 3. So we are looking at +3/+0 to both of these guys, making them 4 1s with flying. So 2 4 1s with flying, and Kellan is now going to be a 5/3 with double strike and unblockable in this circumstance.
Yep.
So you may move to blocks if you have blocks for the spirit.
I don't.
guys.
None of my stuff flies. My flying creature's tapped.
What about your Birds of Paradise? You don't think that'd be flying?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, definitely not. Not right now. It's not.
No, he down in the he in the nest.
He saw those spirits and he was like, "I'm gonna just hang out."
Yeah. Okay, so that totals up to 8 here and 10 from Kellan. So a total of 18
That's a
damage.
lot.
So boopity boppity on that guy. Then we have,
Puts
of
me up to
course,
14 commander damage.
not bad. Then we have our trigger here on our sticky fingers. So we'll make our 2 treasures back again, which we will represent as such. And in the end of combat step here, we are going to activate Reconnaissance to untap the crowd.
I don't like how that works.
Reason it's extra good in this deck is because I make my dudes tapped and attacking. So if I granted Vigilance to my board, they would still enter tapped and attacking, and they'd be tapped. So Reconnaissance is actually more powerful than granting Vigilance in this particular build because they enter tapped and attacking, but they still qualify as an attacking creature for Reconnaissance's check, which is pretty neat. So now our spirits are untapped, our Kellan is untapped, and we are looking at the 2 Treasurinos. And then we are going to sack those 2 treasures again. And we are going to throw out the Inquisitorial Rosette.
Heck is that?
This card, it comes from the Warhammer stuff. I think it is like one of the Warhammer cards, hence why it has a weird name and such. But basically, this one has Inquisition Agents is its worded ability, but it says whenever the equipped creature attacks, I create a 2/2 white Astartes warrior creature token with vigilance that's attacking. And the attacking creature gains menace until end of turn. The equip cost is 3. So we're just going to pop that out there, and we're done. We're passing.
All right, so we're going to go to the untappy tap. And then we're going to be drawing a card. Alrighty, so as much as the card I drew could be worth playing in one universe or another, we're going to start tapping some other things. We're going to tap 2 more, cap it off with the birds, and we're bringing this raccoon back on a fetch quest. Bramble Familiar, 7 mana, put them on an adventure. We're going to mill 7 cards, and then I can take 1 creature, land, or enchantment from among the mill cards, slap it right onto the battlefield. First, however, Lozan is going to take that tasty 7-cost adventure and bop it right at your face.
Oh, I don't love that. That brings us all the way down to what? 6? 13 minus 7. Boom.
Alright, so now we're going to get to the milling. We're going to mill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What an interesting set.
Snap.
So I can't get that. I can't get that.
Urabrask, baby.
Can't get that. My choices are a creature that gives my creatures haste, or an enchantment that gives my creatures haste. Well, with not enough mana to play any of the other cards I have, it looks like we're grabbing Urabrask and slapping him right into play. Oh, man, the whole top of my deck fell off. And here he is, Urabrask.
Wow, I did not even expect to see that card in here. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I noticed when brewing, I was like, the adventure cards, like, once they're creatures, like, I need to have them go. They need to hit the gas and go.
Going is big.
So it's funny I hit my 2 haste enablers at the same time.
I know, yeah, that's awesome.
And I think that might seal the dealio. So we're going to come in, we're going to go right to combat and swing with 5 creatures, all with 4 power. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I think that does it. Let's see it there. Go ahead, send them in.
Shoom, 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 shoom.
Well, the one has vigilance, but the effect was nice.
He's going so hard that he just went so hard.
Yeah, he gave up his vigilating abilities. Okay.
His vigilance status, yeah.
So if math is math, which it is, mathemagic, the calculating.
Hey.
Yeah, we die. We definitely die because they're all 4 power, right?
Yes, sir. All 4 power.
So we can block somebody with Kellan, which double check here. I mean, he's definitely going to insta-give whatever he gets.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll block 2 dudes with the spirits who are going to trade. That still leaves 2 dudes coming in, which is 8 damage. I'm at 6. GG, baby.
GG.
Dead. Okie dokie. That was pretty cool. That was fun. I actually, like,
Bro,
I'm very happy about that.
I
you got to do the thing.
I know, I got to the thing. Okay, so for everybody watching, like I said in the other thing, I love the art on Bramble Familiar, and I just think that, like, kind of being, like, the inverse function of most other adventures, where you want to play the creature and get to the adventure later, I think that is so cool, and the art is gorgeous. I will say it 100 times, the art is so cool. So, like, when I saw that in my hand, I was like, I gotta do it. So getting to do it, like, I always thought adventures in general were really cool, but I just felt like the deck I would have brewed before Beluna and some of these new adventures just wasn't gonna hit right.
Yeah.
And this definitely does. And I also think Lozan, that card came out of nowhere, like when I was looking through cards, and that's so strong.
Yeah, that thing is crazy. Well, it's especially crazy, like, with some of the new adventures that they printed, like the Bramble guy, like 7 direct damage any target is crazy. With Beluna herself, because her thing is 7 too, right?
It's 5
or 5,
7,
something like that.
Still a lot.
Her direct damage as well, like I don't know, that card is really good. Obviously, it's like a little bit heavier of a mana investment. If I had the dang removal, I might have been able to get rid of it. But I really think it was interesting. I love the way that it came together. Honestly, like, and my deck too, but I still am just fanboying on your deck for a minute. I think that adventures, again, go watch the podcast pilot if you guys want to hear more about, like, the things that we're referring to, but we won't go too much into repeating ourselves. However, adventures are really, really interesting, just on the versatility. We were talking about this the other day, but the curve that adventures open for you, mana curve wise, is really cool, because almost all of your cards in the deck, especially the way that you brewed it, have 2 casting costs. So you end up having what could be 3 or 4 cards in hand really act as 6 cards in hand, all with variable mana values, which produces this really interesting efficiency that I think is really alluring. And then obviously the whole thing just feels very thematical, right? Like, I don't know how you feel about it, but, like, it feels very Wilds of Eldraine, very, like, the Brothers Grimm Tales-esque type of experience, right? How do you feel?
Yeah, no, I mean, no, that's kind of exactly, like, that's why there's definitely, I think, tweaks to the deck that could be made where it leans heavier into just, like, using the really, really good adventures, and the fact that your general's a 3 mana 4/4 that reduces their cost is just, like, a bonus, but the deck would really be more like a teamer, just, like, punch you in the face deck, whereas I really wanted to make sure the deck ran I cut other good cards to run more adventures, like, because I just wanted the flexibility and the flavor. I mean, again, there's so many in the stack that I didn't get to pull out. But I just think it's very magical to toss the creatures into exile, and they even just the Howlfang, who he's a 4 mana 4 for vigilance, but he has haste if you have a thing on an adventure. So by the 4th turn, if you toss something into exile, he just has a bonus. And so many of the cards kind of function similarly, where, like, there's a lot of unintended benefits. Like, the one guy, Bramble Familiar, mills. Beluna also mills. The one guy costs less when there are cards in your graveyard. Like, there's a lot of synergies that I didn't even notice when I first started the list.
Yeah, it's interesting that you point that out. I mean, because I know that you went for, like, kind of a, like, full investment into the adventures, so a lot of the, like, synergies are slightly unintentional, but that's kind of cool to see them come together. And it's always fun to go, like, full bore into, like, one theme and just load it up and allow the deck's power level to kind of be defined by that decision. So, like, I don't think that thing is, like, cracked beyond belief. Like, obviously it's not going to sit at a CDH table or something like that, but I think for a casual game, like, in that mid-tier echelon, mid to upper, it can probably hang in a usual multiplayer game and have a really fun time doing so, with all the versatility of responsiveness and interaction that adventures grant you. So that's a really cool deck. And I really love it. I mean, like, I love that like she's not like the most popular thing that we saw out of Wilds of Eldraine that people are brewing. But I definitely think you guys should give it a shot because that looks like a lot of fun. I would like to pilot it. However, my deck over here, I'm also really happy about. Now we were like 1 to 2 turns away from really doing the thing. Because the idea at the deck, I mean, you saw it coming together right at my last turn there, is to more or less stack equipments onto Kellan, which produce tapped and attacking tokens, as well as some supportive creatures like Adeline or Adeline, whatever her name is, from like the Innistradian block, and Leon's familiar, whatever. The Hero Bladehold style abilities, right? Creatures that also bring in dudes tapped and attacking, just as support system because there aren't a ton of equipments to do what I want. But there are a package. So the idea is to basically load up Kellan with utility equipments that don't necessarily boost his power because I'm not really looking to do a Voltron style build here. And then within those utility equipments that make the tapped and attacking dudes to take advantage of that ancillary buff. I mean, we saw on that last turn how powerful and interesting that can be. Interesting interactions that are opened up, like the reconnaissance interaction with the tapped and attacking dudes. I love the idea that by giving Kellan the equipment that makes the dudes, he's also strengthening the dudes. So it's just an interesting interplay. And we were getting there right at the end. We were about to stack the Inquisitorial Rosette onto him as well. So he'd be making 3 dudes on every attack. Later, the idea is to get maybe another combat phase so that we can stack up on those triggers so we can go to attack twice. We'll be making 6 dudes a turn. They all get plus a billion plus 0. So I was happy with how it functioned. I think it will work and can do the thing. But I thought it felt really good. And I think Kellan is really interesting. I said this to John when I was brewing the deck, and I think I mentioned it briefly in the podcast, but one thing I like about him is stereotypically you think of a commander in the command zone with a tutor on him and native double strike, especially in Boros colors, is like, wow, that thing can just get out of hand super, super quick, depending on how you brew it. But I wanted to brew this deck more for a unique take, and specifically wanted to vest in the idea of grabbing utility artifacts, equipments that I don't necessarily have the redundancy for, and based on like Magic's history of printing. So the tutor enables a strategy that maybe wouldn't work if I didn't have the ability to go find some of those pieces.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, so like one of the things I like, again, I have a Boros kind of Voltron. It's a partner deck, so it's split focus Voltron. But what I like is that you popped out an enchantment and 3 equipments, and I didn't see anything that I run in my Boros equipment deck. Which was one of the things I was so excited with when you told me you were brewing the deck, because I was like, okay, like I have a Boros deck. It's also an equipment deck, but I know you're going for something way different. So I was excited to see like what you put in that I've never run those cards. The Warhammer card I don't know how to say, let alone know it existed. Reconnaissance again, something that like, so I got it has a really cool flavor of like doing something in the same vein as something I have, but in a way different way with way different cards, which was like super exciting to see. Like every single card you played, I was like, oh, what is that? Like not my normal, what is that for you guys, but my actual like, wait, no, seriously, like what cards are you playing right now?
yeah. No, for sure. I mean, like, and that's one of the things, I don't know. It's just, you guys are probably learning this about me, or you will learn this about me, but I like a unique build. The first thing I do when I start to build a deck is I go and search the commander on EDH Rec, shout out, not a sponsor, great source for data. And I look at how popular the thing I'm about to do is. If it's popular, I usually abandon ship just because I'm a Magic hipster. I want that experience where I bring a deck to the table and people have that genuine, yo, what does that card do? Because that's really cool. There's really cool old cards and niche abilities. If I can find a nest egg for them, a home to kind of highlight some of those cards, it rocks my world. So this deck is really cool. I implore you guys, if you're interested, go check out the links for the deck list down in the description. Our Moxfield links will be down there. And this thing especially, just take a peek at some of the artifacts and enchantments that are running this and get a feel for the idea of the deck and the idea of trying to chase those kind of utility equipments that are going to boost my army's power without gassing up Kellan too heavily, but giving me the value engine from his triggers. It's really interesting. I think it's a lot of fun. This is actually our first time ever piloting these decks, period. No test game. So everything worked out kind of how we expected. I really want to play this again and see just how many goofy things I can dredge up. And having that tutor in the command zone lets me go for a new idea almost every time. So Kellan is cool. He's an enabler for a creative build. See what you guys come up with for this guy. And have some fun with the Wilds of Eldraine. This set is awesome. Let's take 2 seconds out of everything else to just say, Wizards, stamp of approval. This thing was a lot of fun. I think it was released at a good time. I think that it was a perfect follow-up to the original Throne of Eldraine. I think that obviously the cards are thematical. They're fun. Some of them are silly and goofy. A real flex of the R&D. The fact that we're playing this community card game and that we can tell these stories. This set is really cool. I really want to keep experimenting with it. But with that being said, let us know what you guys think down in the comments. You like these decks? What are you brewing currently from the Wilds of Eldraine? What kind of commanders are you interested in, or the mechanics, or so on and so forth? Because I want to know. I'm kind of hyped about this set, and the more I can kind of keep that train going, the better. But with that being said, don't forget, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, that we are running our giveaway for the, oh my god, that's hard to do, set booster box of the Wilds of Eldraine. Again, just to put a little bit more context to it, again, this contest is open until we hit our 100 subscriber goal. All you gotta beat is one of the first 100 subscribers to the channel. So if you are, hit that subscribe button, and to finish your entry, you got to leave a comment down in one of the videos during the duration of this contest. One comment on any of the videos, one entry per individual commenting. And that is going to get you into the raffle. All of the other details are outlined in the description, all the full rules, so on and so forth. So check those out. If you have any questions, go ahead and contact us about it. We'd be more than happy to answer. But definitely enter. And for anybody else, even if you already got all the stuff you need, if you aren't already part of the zone, get in here. Takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. You'll never miss an episode. And we can hang out. It's a good time. And of course, hopefully you guys are out there having a great time brewing your decks. Share it up. We want to see that stuff. You can also throw down your Moxfield links, whatever you want down in the comments. Let us know what kind of thing that you're having fun brewing with this set. And as always, we will see you in the multiverse.